Toshl, and we have the same username on Twitter and Angel list, so please follow us there too. Okay, this is not working. We have a two-stage business. So basically, I'm going to present the consumer side first, and the question is, where is my money going? And once I know where it is going, then just give me the keyboard. And once I know where it is going, how to handle my money. And the key is, of course, to master your balance. So we have the existing methods of pen and paper, spreadsheet, traditional finance software, and of course we've got Mint page ones, and the question we always get is, of course, how are you better than Mint? A, we're more fun. The point is to make finance fun. We're a lot more mobile. We give you more freedom with your data, and we're going to be worldwide, whereas Mint and page ones and the similar companies are US only. And I'm going to show you later how we can do that. So the point is to make finance fun. And we use these little characters that sort of provide a light-hearted feeling to it, and they're little personal financial assistants. This is the product that we have that's already live. It's basically a phone client software where you enter your expenses in a really easy and streamlined way, and then you automatically sync them to the web where we give you infographics and show you how to handle your finances. The point is that it's easy, it's flexible. Why is it flexible? We're on all of these different mobile platforms. We're already live with all of those, so whichever smartphone we have, from an iPhone to a Nokia Symbian Android, we have it covered. We provide you with custom tagging, and we're worldwide. And it's fun, and this is actually one of the graphs from our site which you can move around and sort of get a better feeling of how your finances stand. We've been covered on all of these pages, and we have more than 100,000 users. And we also have paid users via our freemium model. So after, actually now it's more than 350,000 downloads, these are still our ratings on the app stores, and we get really good consumer feedback. Our current revenue stream is based on freemium, so we have all those free users, and for additional features, you pay $20 a year. We've had a lot of additional users. We're registering more than 500 new a day. And we're getting to stage 2, whereas of course we have to import those expenses automatically from your banks. And the way they do it a lot of the time now is with Yodlee. It's this middle layer company that imports from your banks, and we hear from a lot of developers that they're a pain. They sort of have they're expensive, they have an old API, and we think we can do this a lot better. And we also want to work with payment providers and the different apps that deal with your payments. So hello, Greg. And we're going to do this with Toshl bank data. So because banks have been slow to collaborate, we're going to import the data ourselves using the open source project. So open source bank scraping project. So when you log into the online bank, you just click on the bookmarklet, and you import all the data automatically from there. You can also use an app running in the background. And we want to go with all these payment providers. So how does this work? Basically, on the bottom here, we have the Toshl bank data open source scrapers, which you then use, and other companies can also use and add into the scrapers. And you log into your online bank, scrape the data, and then it goes into the Toshl core, where we analyze this whole thing with semantics and machine learning and tag it properly. From there, it goes into the Toshl API and into the Toshl app, so we can instantly create awesome infographics for you and make you understand everything about your finances. Now it gets even better, because then we plan to open that API to other developers. So basically all the developers get a new, better Yodlee for much less, and they can import that bank data for use in their financial services. Now once they use a lot of it, and when they use the advanced functions, we get to charge them for that API. Think of Toshl API basically like what Foursquare did for location and venue-based APIs and that kind of data. We want to be that for finance. So like the ultimate web financial API. So that expands the revenue streams to a lot of new areas, from the current apps, the current consumer model that we have, to the business API for other developers, banks, which could offer some analytics and really focused marketing, and data mining, of course, aggregated and anonymous. So this is the Toshl team. We have lots of international experience. It mostly consists of developers. Of course, you have an awesome designer as well as business development and marketing people. We've worked with companies like Ericsson and Nokia in the past, and we're a well-run team. We've worked together for more than 3 years, most of us. So that's roughly it, and I'd welcome all the questions.
Good job. All right, judges' feedback. Keith.
It isn't totally clear that there's a market need here, even though your point about it being global and Mint being local. But you are here in the US, and Mint exists here. They sit on top of Yodlee. I think it's Yodlee who gives them all the bank data. So they don't have the problem of scraping. Scraping, unless you can create a great UI that disguises the fact that you're scraping from the user point of view, is kind of, you're going to restrict your growth to geeky people like me that won't mind you doing that. But normal people like, somebody's mum isn't going to like that. It's going to be too geeky. So I think you've got a problem of, is there a real need? It looks to me like what you've built is awesome, but I worry that it's not a real market need, and therefore, as awesome as it is, it's going to get growth.
Well, the key here is that, first of all, the customers don't have to give us usernames and passwords as they do with Mint. The UI is pretty simple, so they just install a bookmarklet, they basically just drag it there, and once they're on their online bank, they can just click on that bookmarklet, and it scrapes automatically and gets the data. That's all they have to do.
But that's ugly as hell compared to just it being updated in the background without you doing anything.
Yes, but the point is that once they trust us, they can use the app to do that automatically for them. But the point is they don't have to give the passwords right away.
I think you're in denial about this point. You're trying to turn a disadvantage into an advantage, but I don't think you're going to succeed. I think that's the big.
Well, even so, we still have the option to create a similar system to that. And we can automate it always in the background. But the point is that we have this leading where they don't have to trust us right away, but we can establish that trust into steps if need be.
I understand.
So I'm actually, I don't have any problem with scraping per se, and there are ways to describe it. You can be a scraper without feeling like a scrape.
Yeah.
But that data doesn't have the level 3 data. So there's no level 3 data in the bank data or the credit card. So they don't know what items you purchased. So you're scraping like the bank transactions, but you don't actually know what's underneath. It's the same problem. It's why Square's in the market that it's in, is we get people to load the level 3 data, we can see and tell people what they're actually buying, not where they shop or what they bought.
It's true that we get less detail to that, that's true, but I think that we get sufficient amount of data, especially once you do machine learning with all these users, when they sometimes tag manually, that you can,
Right, but there's no line item detail.
Yes, that's true.
Anything else, Tim? David?
You told us, no fear, that about 7 times that this app was fun, and then you showed us some screenshots that included bar charts. And so I was just, you seem to have an excellent character designer on board, but I think I stopped believing you so much when you showed me the app. So I might steer away from that, instead just show the adoption curves, which will get us salivating in a hurry, because it looks like, for whatever reason, people really like this app. And I think that speaks volumes for your success in building a good experience for the user.
It's true that we haven't used the characters as much as we'd like to so far, but we're planning future version with much more character engagement and more of that fun element inside.
Sure, but then the ideal is that you can walk me through that, and I can say, and you don't even have to say, it's fun, it's like telling me you're beautiful, right? That you show me, and I think, hey, that looks neat. Like, I could imagine like running my finances like that, because I come to the conclusion, yeah, that's fun. Don't tell me it's fun and then show me bar charts. That's all.
Okay, I agree, we'll iterate that.
All right, any last feedback? Did you have a question? You had a question?
I have a very simple question. Can you please tell segmentation between like European users where they don't have access to Mint and American?
Segmentation between American versus European users.
From people who have access to Mint to people who have no access to Mint.
About a third of our users are from the US, the rest of them are from all over the world. I don't have a Europe number right now because it's separated by countries, but they're, I would say that a little bit less than half are from Europe and the rest are from all over the place. Brazil.
Thank you.
All right, any last feedback? Questions? Big round of applause, judges.